So the Bears season is practically over, but the chatter on sports talk radio is at insane levels. And this latest Ryan Poles rumor is absolute insanity to the max. Bear fans, we gotta talk. Welcome to Bears Yard, the home of opinionated Chicago Bears talk. This your boy Vipe, and I cannot believe what I heard on ESPN 1000 on the Waddle and Silvy show yesterday. You know what? It's absolute insanity. I'll just let Silvy spell it out for you. Roll the tape.
The other information that was interesting to me was one of the main reasons that Ryan Poles took the Bears job was because he liked the direct reporting nature to the team owner. It was very appetizing to him as a general manager to report directly to ownership. There was no buffer. If he had an issue, he can go right to George, right to ownership. And that when Kevin Warren was hired, he was frustrated with that from the start, that he never loved it. It was not a personal thing with Kevin, but it was something that he didn't like, that he went from reporting to the owner to now having to report to a team president who reports to the owner. There was a go-between. And he was very vocal about that to people he trusted inside the building, that maybe he never would have taken the job to begin with. So now with his not exactly building the team up like he should be, maybe with some of the trust gone of picking the right coach, and maybe with his trust of the organization and not being totally satisfied, this is a theory. This isn't a known thing. I wouldn't be shocked, again, if by the end of the year there's a mutual parting of the ways and they maybe do find a way to bring in a coach with his own general manager or player evaluation guy, because I just don't think this is in the spot that either side wanted this to be in from the jump.
So let me get this straight. Ryan Poles worked his entire life to become a general manager of an NFL team, and he achieved that dream. He became GM of the Chicago Bears back in 2022. Now you're telling me because of turmoil in the front office and the power structure that he's just going to walk away from his dream? Is that what we're talking about here? Firstly, did you not do your research? Because I believe all of us knew that Ted Phillips, who was the current president of the Bears at the time, was going to retire at the end of 2022. I mean, obviously, logic would dictate that he had to be replaced, right? I mean, you knew they were going to bring somebody in to replace him. So even though Ryan Poles reported directly to George McCaskey at the time of his hire, he had to know that there will be a team president put in place at some point, right? And that you could possibly report to that person in the future, right? Unless the McCaskies lied to him, and we know how booty backwards this organization is, so that's definitely a possibility. But did you do your research, Ryan? Secondly, how in the world are you going to walk away from Caleb Williams? All that prep, all that relationship building that you've done with this quarterback, you get him in here, you draft him, he's showing so much promise in this season that's been absolutely filled with turmoil and change for him. Like, I don't know if any other rookie quarterback in NFL history has gone through as much change and turmoil as Caleb Williams has gone through in 2024. But you're going to walk away from Caleb Williams after all of that, everything that went into drafting him? Are you serious? Also, if you quit this job, Ryan Poles, I can almost guarantee you, you will never be a GM in the NFL again. Think about the optics of how this looks. At his introductory presser back in 2022, he laid out three things that he wanted to do. He wanted to be selective in free agency. He wanted to take the North and never give it back. And he wanted to build through the draft. Well, one could argue that he's been a little too selective in free agency. In my last Ryan Poles video, I talked about how he's been bargain basement shopping for offensive linemen, signing a dude for like $3 million, $1 million. How has that worked out, Ryan? How has that worked out? Take the North and never give it back? Don't make me laugh. Every year since Poles has been GM, the Bears have been last place in the North. And this year is going to be no different. And then build through the draft. Okay, he got a few solid pieces through the draft. But I would argue in his 3 drafts as GM, only 2 blue chip prospects he's landed, Caleb and Rome. Everybody else has been okay to mediocre, terrible. Most of these duos, some of these dudes not even on a team anymore. And I would say by and large, Ryan Poles has not fulfilled on the promises that he talked about at his introductory press conference. So you haven't accomplished anything that you set out to do when you first got the job. Now you talk about potentially walking away. And again, we need to understand that this is all rumor and conjecture. It's not like Ryan has said this himself. This is stuff that they're talking about on Sports Talk Radio in Chicago. But still, there is no way Ryan Poles is going to quit. After everything that he built, it hasn't gone well, but he has a foundation in place. If he hits on a couple of offensive linemen in this upcoming draft, things can turn around very quickly next year. How many worst the first stories have we seen in the NFL over the past, 15, 20 years? So it's not impossible. But up until this point, Ryan Poles has a lot of holes in his foundation building that he needs to work out. And walking away just is a terrible look, and it will leave the job unfinished. And again, if he did that, he is never getting hired as a GM in the NFL again. Now, he'll have a job in the league. He'll be somebody's assistant. He'll go back to maybe being a pro scout or something like that. But as far as becoming a general manager, cancel it. Never happening. Ain't nobody hiring a GM that walks away from his job unfinished. Just walks away. You are talking about a league with a bunch of alpha men who really are dogs who get after it, and they expect the people that work for them and work under them to be of that similar mindset. And you're going to bring in Ryan Poles, a guy who walked away from a GM job? Are you kidding me? It's not. No, they're not accepting that. So Ryan Poles, you better figure it out and make it work in Chicago, because this is your one shot, fam. You got to make it work, Ryan. I don't know what you're going to do. You got to work hand in hand with Kevin Warren now. And Kevin Warren, for all we talk about Kevin Warren, he's been around the NFL for a long time and football in general. So you got to be able to make it work with Kevin in some way, shape, or form. I still believe in Ryan Poles. I still think he could have some good things happen for him as long as he learns from his mistakes. And according to him, he has. But Ryan, make it work, bro. Make it work. Bear fans, do you actually believe that Ryan Poles could actually walk out on the GM job of the Chicago Bears? Let me know. Drop a comment. Do you care if he walked away? How would you feel about Ryan Poles if he walked away? Let me know, and hit subscribe for more opinionated Chicago Bears talk.